Hey there, my name is Tanya, and I am doing this little recording for those of you who have been asking me for it. I did a Zoom last night, and I being the 22nd of March, by the way, and I had some feedback from people saying, we need your slides, or we need a slide to do a screenshot of the products that I mentioned that have helped me. And so I thought I would just redo this again and insert a couple slides at the end. So in the meantime, I'll just be talking like this. And so you can just see me talk, and I'll show you a couple things that I have right with me of what I've used in this journey. And then the other reason why I'm doing this recording again is to keep my language a little bit more compliant, because I will be using or avoiding the C word. So 2020 and 2021, obviously, those of you who experienced it know it was definitely not a fun thing. And obviously we're still hearing about it, and whatever it is to you. I think what I have learned is that it doesn't matter what kind of virus it is, we can all experience some of the things that I'll be talking about here in regards to hormonal imbalance and residual effects of whatever illness. And so these things that I've been using that have helped me can definitely be of help to you and benefit for sure. So with that in mind, I want to back up to and just introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I am all about all things natural. I'm a health foodie. I love to or at least in the last few years, I love cooking. I don't think I really enjoyed it growing up as much. However, I do love it now, and all things holistic. So I am a certified holistic health coach as of 10 years ago, and I have used a plant medicine in the form of essential oils to help heal my body, heal my gut. I do focus a lot of my coaching on gut health, and the root issue of most of our problems lies inside our gut. And so that's something that it's a topic I am very passionate about. And I love essential oils, and pair that with what I do in terms of the diet side of things. And then looking at the whole picture of wellness, which I believe is a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual experience. So really focusing on all of that in my 90-day coaching groups that I do. And so I just love empowering women, empowering families to know how to take care of themselves more naturally through, like I said, through diet, through oils, through all things holistic. So with that in mind, I obviously, when this all happened towards the end of, or towards the beginning of fall last year, and I fell to some of the symptoms and things that a lot of people have experienced, I was able to get over it really quickly. However, several weeks later, I started to notice that my hair was just falling out, and it was just, and for those of you who think that this looks like thick hair, trust me, it's way thinner than what it used to be. And it started coming out like crazy. I mean, it was just every time I brushed my hair, every time I washed, I mean, the shower was just full of hair. The clog would get or the drain would get clogged. I would brush my hair, and it was like just globs of hair going through my brush. And it got to the point, as I mentioned in one of my Instagram reels, that I started to find it in my food. People would find it in my food, and I became very embarrassed and self-conscious, like, oh my gosh, it's like all over the place. And I was almost becoming afraid of even cooking anything anymore for anyone or for my family, because I was afraid that they would find food in my, or hair in their food. And so, I'd tuck it back, and I would still see it everywhere. And so it was really, really scary. It got to the point where I had a lot of anxiety around it, and that went on for a month or several weeks before I realized that I needed to really do something about it. And so as I started researching, kind of looking at, why is it that people are experiencing this, I realized that my hairstylist did say it's a common thing that she noticed. I wasn't really talking about it with anyone until she brought it up. And then I started hearing it a lot of people experiencing the same thing post the thing. And so as I started doing the research, I learned that it begins usually 6 to 12 weeks after having it, can happen really with any virus or illness. Can last upwards of 6 to 9 months. Obviously, you notice it more when you're washing or showering, brushing your hair. And it also lasts longer when your body is in a stress state. So stress obviously causes more hair to go into shedding phase or stage. So you want to make sure that you are keeping that stress in check. And that's what I finally had to arrive at, is that I needed to just not stress about it and realize that everything was going to be okay. My hair would grow back, and whatever was causing it, which who knows. And I am not able to say 100% that it was related to that. Perhaps it was hormonal, and perhaps your reason for your shedding or hair loss or hair thinning is hormonal. So whether it's hormonal, whether it's the virus or whatever that you have been experiencing, all of this that I will share will definitely apply, because this is addressing hormones. This is addressing things that you can do topically for it as well. As a disclaimer, I will say that in my experience as a health coach, I will be the first to say I do not know everything. I love learning, and I'm still learning every single day. And so when I coach people, I have to say that I don't know your lifestyle. So therefore, as I share my experience, what I did, I'm not able to guarantee obviously the same result for you, because I don't know your lifestyle and your day to day. So all I can say is 100% my experience. I trust in my experience 100%, and that's what I will share with you. And I also know that the number one reason for hair loss outside of having the thing is changing hormones. So the more that you focus on hormonal balance, which again is something that I really focus on with my coaching and within gut health, is really focusing on, again, what you're doing on the inside. So for most women, progesterone decreases shortly after your 30s, and then estrogen changes soon after. You then sometimes have a relatively small increase in testosterone, which then can lead to hair thinning. So, and if you have PCOS or you're on hormonal birth control or even going into menopause, sometimes those things, those obviously those hormones can create that. So again, like I said, whether it's a hormonal imbalance that's causing the hair loss, or it's a crazy residual of having the thing, then what I share with you will, I know for sure, make a difference. So as it has for me. And so to start out, I wanted to kind of touch on some of the things to avoid, because again, if we're talking about hormones or all things related to how your hair grows naturally and how to promote thicker hair or hair growth, you want to look at the foundation and what are you doing on that, the internal foundation, that environment that you're creating internally. So the first thing is the foods to avoid. So I'll mention that and then I'll go into the things that I use. So foods to avoid: your trans fatty acids, so your bad fats found mostly in processed foods. So get away from your processed foods, get away from the sugar. Sugar is highly inflammatory. So anything that's inflammatory for your body is going to throw your hormones out of whack. So sugar equals inflammation. So does processed foods, so does caffeine, alcohol. That definitely can throw things out of harmony within your hormones and lead to that hair thinning. As far as the foods to eat, the thing that you want to keep in mind, and again, this is the research that I've done, EFAs, your essential fatty acids, especially your omega-3s, play a key role in the health of your skin, hair, and nails. So making sure that you're upping your omega-3s found in wild-caught fatty fish. So I love salmon. So eating more fatty fish. If you're not a fish lover, then you do want to supplement with more omegas. And I'll share with you here in a bit what you can do to add to that. Also chia seed, flax seed, hemp seed, pumpkin seed. Those are all high in omega-3s. I have in my Instagram, I share a lot of my breakfast include those things. So chia seed, I always add, in fact, in my coconut yogurt, I like to add a tablespoon of chia seed, tablespoon of flax seed, and then upwards of third to half a cup of hemp seed. So yeah, quite a lot. Those are really, really beneficial in boosting those omega-3s. And I actually have been upping that or doing that on a regular basis since really focusing again on my hair growth and making sure my hormones are balanced. So especially as we get older too, and women that are going into their 40s and 50s, it's really important that we are consuming more collagen. And when you look at even our diets and how people in the world who or even our ancestors who suck on bones and literally eat the whole animal, in today's world, a lot of times you don't see that. And we're not getting enough good quality protein as well as good quality collagen. Collagen is the glue that holds everything together. So if we're not getting that, that is going to be a nutrient that our bodies and our hair really needs to grow. And so that is really key, is making sure that you're upping that. So one of the things that you can do to boost that good protein and good collagen is bone broth. So bone broth, you want to make sure you're getting organic, free range bone broth or grass-fed bone broth. So whether it's from cow, whether it's from poultry, just making sure that you're getting it from a clean source. And this, like I said, it's a really good source of protein, good source of hair building amino acids. And if you get the collagen, you want to make sure you're getting the bone broth based collagen, which again is really, really important for those hair building amino acids. So this is something that I have utilized more since I've been focusing on my hair and making sure that I'm getting that increase. So the best thing to support your hormones, and this is something I talk a lot about in my coaching, is the number one thing to help with your hormone support is to increase your nutrition. So increasing your nutrition is super important. And this is not just eating well, which it is. However, it's also all the nutrients that we may be lacking on a daily basis that we're not getting in our diets. So if you're not on a really good whole food supplement, I highly recommend making sure that you have a good source. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, I do show this a lot. This is my pill case. I do have quite a lot and a handful that I take every day. However, it's whole food based. Good plant sources and good omegas. So I have my XE Omega, which is part of the Life and Vitality Pack. And again, I will be telling you a couple of the products that I use that I will show at the very end. But my Life and Vitality Pack, which I won't go into great detail, I can send you details after. That does have everything that your body needs from a foundational nutritional level, as well as those omegas, which are really, really essential for reducing inflammation as well as increasing your hair growth. So the other thing that I have used and started, and going back to this, I became very, very consistent throughout this time, as I was maybe not as consistent with like my second dose of my Life and Vitality. Became very, very consistent, making sure that I was taking that every single day to promote that hair growth. The other supplement though, that I highly recommend, this is called the Bone Nutrient. If you're not familiar with this or haven't seen this before, it's also a doTERRA product. And I decided I need to be very consistent with this once I started seeing the shedding, or decided that I needed to do something about it. I started increasing my bone nutrient, because if you look at the ingredients here, bone nutrient actually includes more vitamin C, D vitamins, which are essential for the absorption of calcium and magnesium. And also in here, one of the best known vitamins for hair growth is a B vitamin called biotin. So biotin, if you look at a lot of other things that people are saying to help with the hair growth, biotin is one of those B vitamins that you need. And biotin in here, there's 300 milligrams, which is basically 1,000% So you're really getting high amounts of that biotin, which is good for hair growth. So take that as recommended. That's what I do daily and have been very, very consistent with. And what I know has been part of that foundation of supporting that hair growth. Now, the other thing that I have done is a product called the Root to Tip Serum. And I started using this, like I said, a few weeks after this was all happening. And literally within the first week of me doing kind of this whole routine and massaging this into my scalp, along with 3 other essential oils, which I'll mention here, this shedding stopped. So all the hair that was coming out within that first week of doing this and massaging this into my scalp regularly, that shedding dramatically decreased, and I did not have that excess hair coming out. And so basically, this is a serum. So it is kind of an oil base. It may feel a little bit, actually what I like about it, applying it right after the shower, and I would do it even in between, every day. It may feel like your hair is getting oily. It does have, kind of an oily base. However, it does absorb. So I feel like it actually made my hair healthier. I would add in rosemary. So rosemary is one of the oils that is known for helping with hair growth or hair thinning. So it helps to stimulate the hair follicles as well as many other things. So good for healthy scalp. Also, cedarwood is known for helping to reduce hormonal stress. So if you are experiencing stress with this whole thing or emotional stress, otherwise cedarwood is really good for that. So it kind of creates that environment even within your scalp for lowering that stress. And then lavender, also known for all things calming. So really good for the skin, really good for helping to regenerate healthy tissue. And it's also known for helping with stimulating hair growth. So these 3, and actually a couple more. So I'll tell you the other ones, but these 3, plus the Root to Tip Serum, I would add extra in here and then massage it into my scalp just to make sure that I was getting a little bit extra of the oils in there. I don't have an exact measurement, but I'll show you again. I'll do a screen share so you can see my slide with kind of the recipe with, if you don't have the Root to Tip Serum and you want to create your own recipe. The other final oil that I'll just mention too, and this is just something I learned recently from Dr. Axe, is spikenard. So if you don't know what spikenard is, it's an ancient oil of the Bible, and I never knew really the value and benefit of spikenard other than, it's kind of more of a therapeutic, emotional, it was used as an incense and has a lot of emotional benefits. However, for the skin and also for the hair, that's one thing that he talked about, how it's really good for the hair. So just an FYI. So right now I'm going to do a screen share so that you can see what I have here. And just as a recap, so again, just as a recap, here's the bone broth. Make sure that you're getting that. If you want to be doing that on a daily basis, that would really help to increase, again, those ingredients that are known for helping with hair growth, and then, or that nutrition. And then the Life and Vitality Pack is kind of the foundation. And that's those 3 bottles that you see there kind of at the right that have all of those cellular regenerating anti-inflammatory benefits and ingredients. And then of course the bone nutrient, which has the biotin as well as the other nutrients that are good for bones as well as hair. And that is something that I would do on a daily basis. And then finally, the Root to Tip Serum with those 3 oils, rosemary, cedarwood, and lavender. You can just kind of put in a few. Otherwise, if you want to create your own blend, here's basically the recipe. You want to fill a half a bottle with fractionated coconut oil. That's FCO, fractionated coconut oil, quarter of the way with argan oil. So you basically have 3/4 of the bottle with those 2 things. And then you're going to add 8 drops each of rosemary, cedarwood, lavender. Then peppermint is also very invigorating. It helps to increase circulation. So that's why it's in there. Clary sage, also a great hormone balancing oil. So it's also, not only good just for your hormones, your female hormones, but also just your hormonal imbalance of the skin. So that's why it's in there in this recipe, which, by the way, I've seen a lot of people and literally hundreds of testimonials of people who have used this particular recipe. So those 5 oils, and then add 5 drops each of frankincense and spikenard. Frankincense, really good for cellular regeneration. Spikenard, same thing, really good for the hair. And you can see spikenard only comes in the 5 ml bottle, so it's a little bit smaller. But anyway, that is the recipe. And then you can just spray it on, spritz it onto your hair. You can spritz it on the just the outside of your hair. You can spritz it into your scalp, which is ideally where you want it, and massage it in. Massaging it, again, increases the circulation to the scalp and gets those oils in there, and promotes that environment for growing your hair. So that is pretty much it. So I covered a lot there in a short bit of time. And really, if you have any questions, you can either, if someone shared this video with you and you have connections with them and would like to get some of these things in hand, if you don't have them, then definitely get back to them. If you were referred by myself, or if you follow me on Instagram and you want to get the wholesale deal with these. And again, I'm not here just to sell you these products. I am here sharing you really what has worked for me. And this has absolutely been a game changer for me, and made such a huge difference in my life, and my now increasing that self-esteem of I'm getting my hair back. And so that's why I'm sharing this with you, because this has definitely worked for me. So with that, feel free to reach out, send me a message, or email me, tanyalhowell@gmail.com, and I would be happy to be able to assist you in getting set up with the wholesale pricing of each of these. All right, with that, I look forward to hearing your feedback, and stay consistent with it. Don't stress, stay optimistic. Things are and will actually be better for you, and you can experience that confidence again. So I am thankful that you watched, and I look forward to getting your feedback. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.